Shalom Yasharala, all praises and glory goes to you. How about Shem Yahushai, by Shem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that teaching real well, salutations unto the elect and feeding the sheep of Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, in sincerity and truth, with this great gospel coming out of our Bible, man. We're going to get into it. And the dollar must die. It is one of the prophecies that also is going to happen, right? The death of this currency. Right, because it talks about a new system of payment being set up on the earth through, you already know, that CHIP. So we already know before that CHIP get established, they got to get the people's minds off of what that paper currency, right? Get the people's minds off of what credit cards and all these other transactions. And we already see that they're setting up the collapse of the dollar due to what other nations, and I wonder what no longer deal with the dollar, right? You got other nations, they're looking at the dollar like, we rather do our own thing. It's costing us too much of our money to purchase the oil. You got that petrodollar, right? Everybody's currency has fallen, and in Babylon the great currency is high, right? Due to what that transaction with the Saudi Arabians. And these nations, they see what's happening, so that's why they're making businesses with the BRICS, right? These other nations are forming their own pacts together, right? You got them Russians, you got them Indians, you got South Africa, right? Brazil, right? What they doing? They creating their own currency. China, right? You know, they got North Korea with them, and them Persians, them other nations, and all these nations are gonna come together and fire on the whore, right? They hate the whore, right? Because the whore is what been using and abusing, right? It says what in the scriptures? Let's get this verse. The book of Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, and small and great, and shouldest destroy, what it's saying, shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. Right? And it says, let's start from the top, and the nations were angry, yeah. These nations are upset, right? A lot of these nations did business with America, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out, right? They end up being on the losing end, while all their natural resources got taken away, all their minerals, right? All the things of value in their land got taken over, and what else? The military base got established in their lands. What else? Their customs started vanishing, and what that American way started taking over, that spirit of confusion. Right, that's why their women are so-called in a liberated spirit, shaking their ass. The men are broke and on a broke back spirit, right? And it says, the last part of this verse, it says, should have destroyed them which destroyed the earth. What happens when you don't follow Esau Edom's ways, or don't follow his democracy, or don't take that business deal that he gives you? What, he destroy your shit. He come through and drop bombs in your society, right? He poison your water, right? He set up a coup in your kingdom, and that's how he's been ruling. And that's why it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, that thou shouldest give us reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them that destroy the earth. Yeah, this death of the dollar is going to lead to what? That CHIP. It's going to lead to what? World War III. It's going to lead to what? All hell breaking loose. It says, what would happen if the dollar collapses? If the US dollar collapses, the cost of imports will become more expensive. The government wouldn't be able to borrow at current rates, resulting in a deficit that would need to be paid by increasing taxes or printing money. Right? There's different scenarios and situations, right? There's one prideful dude, right? It says, what would happen if the dollar collapses? Well, the dollar as the world reserve currency means, right? It says, a former CIA clandestine officer, aka spy, described the importance of the dollar as the world's reserve currency. Simply, right, how important this dollar is around the world. It says in just about any country he operated, a $100 bill could be accepted by locals. If he needed to slip a few 10 bills to a boat owner to cross a river to another country, that U.S. currency was his passport to safety. So that money was power. That American dollar is power. That petrodollar is power, right? It says if he had to hop in a taxi and drive a few hundred miles to escape capture, a Benjamin would suffice. The key point is those dollar bills were trusted as currency that could be exchanged for goods and services later by its recipients. The same cannot be said for the Venezuela. Yeah, that money collapsed, right? And just like this American dollar about to collapse, it says what could cause the dollar collapse? It says, first of all, the collapse of the dollar is very unlikely to occur, right? You got a lot of people there and now, and you got a lot of people that are set up to write these articles to keep their investors, right? People keep putting the dollars in their pockets, thinking like, oh yeah, the system is going, right? There's a lot of people getting paid to lie, right? It says, first of all, the collapse of the dollar is very unlikely to occur. Right now, the United States is one of the largest economies in the world, and it is interactly connected with the other major economies, including China and Japan. So what would cause a major economic downturn that would cause the currency's collapse? That's a good question, right? It says political instability. Geopolitical uncertainty can play a big role in the dollar fortune. If other countries are unhappy with American government policies or the direction of this country, their faith in the value of the dollar could erode. Then we just say the nations were angry, right? That's already happening, the erosion, right? It says the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, right? Let's get that verse. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. We're going to do Obadiah 1 and 4. It says, matter of fact, let's go 3. Yeah, it says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, right? Talking about Esau, Edom. The man that cameth not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy, right? His heart is lifted through what? His riches, right? His riches. He's wealthy. He has the sword, right? He has the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, right? He's in full control, full authority. It says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. It says, if thieves came to thee by night, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off when thou have not stolen enough? Right? That's Esau Edom, a fucking thief. He wants everything for himself. Right? That's why he's gonna take you by putting a C-hip in your body. He controls you now. It says, would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him, right? Because Esau thinking just because his money is popular, he done gave the nation. Man, them nations going to say, man, forget your money. Forget your currency. Forget your white Jesus. And we're not worried about your military troop either, because it says, aren't we come like wheat? Let's keep reading. Shall not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mouth of Esau? And the mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mouth of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right, that's what's about to happen. They about to be cut off. Their currency is about to be cut off. Right, their military might is about to be cut off. That diabolical, demonic democracy is about to be cut off. Right, that sick, pedophile, twisted religion, Christianity is about to be cut off. Right, that atheist spirit's about to be cut off. Every spirit and aspect of Esau Edom about to be cut off, to the point that every one of the mount of Esau is going to go into full captivity, and they ain't going to have no power, they ain't going to have no say, no authority, and they shall not lift fill up the face of the world with cities, like the scriptures say, right? Another one, potential government involvement in real estate market. So not just in real estate, potential government involvement in all aspects of life, because it's going into what can happen if the dollar collapses. What, they about to take control over everything, right? Because to get back order from this chaos, right, who's going to have to take order? The people who has the power to take order, which is the government that's already established. And that's why they're setting up a system right before your eyes, and they're already preparing your mind for it. Do you got to see hip? Right? Do you got to see hip? Right? Because every store you go to, man, they talking about a cashless. They no longer taking this. They no longer taking that. Right? It says, do Denver businesses have to accept cash? Right? That's a question. Do they have to accept cash? There's certain places where people are saying no to cash. Right? No to cash. They got to pass legislation just for the businesses to take cash. It says sometimes it seems like the digital age has completely taken over, and that the $20 bill in your wallet is all but useless at the checkout line. Well, in Colorado, you don't have to worry about that, at least in most situations. This is because businesses across the states are not allowed to refuse cash payments. So yeah, we're living in the times where people could refuse cash payments. Another question, what are the effects of a currency crisis? Because it's obvious America's going through a currency crisis. Currency crisis, you got places being sued for not accepting cash. You got hyperinflation in different places. You got a stock market going up and down. Right, you got other nations refusing to take American payments in American dollars. So it's a problem going on. It says the effects of currency crisis include hyperinflation, decreased real wages, increased unemployment, an increase in debt burden, and a lower output. Right, and all we're seeing things happening right now is a lot of businesses no longer hiring. Right, they're firing. They're getting rid of people, right? What are the examples of currency crisis? Example of currency crisis that led to recessionary periods include the crisis. These different countries where this already happened. Weimar Republic in Germany. After World War, the Mexico peso crisis, 1994. The Asian crisis, 1997. The 1998 financial crisis, Russia. The Argentina crisis, 1990s. The economic crisis, Venezuela, 2016, right? It keeps going up, right? The next crisis is what? That American currency crisis. I'm going to read the book of Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For what? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and it will not tarry you. Right? Because this dollar is going to collapse. Right? This is the vision of America collapsing. The vision of America being on fire. All these things are going to come to pass. The vision of the Lord filling the skies with chariots. These things are going to come to pass. Right, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. Are we seeing the end of the currency? It's speaking more and more. Right, how many banks have closed? Right, a bunch of banks are shutting down. Right, they try to get you to even go to the Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin, that didn't work out. Right, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold his, man, we're talking about this devil. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. How you think he got so rich? By going into other countries, taking people's resources, right? And setting up his order, and now he done put his banks in other people's countries, right? It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied. but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right thing it says, and the nations were angry. Right? And it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. Right? You done murdered motherfuckers for oil in the Middle East. You done murdered motherfuckers for diamonds. Right? For coal, for all type of, you done the Native Americans for a whole country. Right? We could keep talking about the history of violence. And don't forget about your violence during the Roman Empire, during the Greek, during Alexander the Great times, during your Edomite reign. Right? You've been a wicked man for a mighty long motherfucking time, Mr. Edomite. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth, right? That increaseth that which is not his, right? So like, let me go back to himself. Bear with me. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? To him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And when you go into that clay, it's debt. Right? So we got possibilities of war, currency crisis, debt, hyperinflation, stock market failure, right? Low employment, low hiring, right? Mass unemployment, in a nation of people that really don't want to work. So what is this going to lead to? What? A collapsed society. A collapsed society that's going to lead to what? Implementation of that RFID chip, right? That's going to be their answer, their solution to the problems of the world.